Good morning, Climb Fit. Welcome to our Thursday morning yoga. It's great to have you along. There's a lot of activity in the gym today with some big new installations happening, which we're very excited about. A great opportunity to start to expand some of the bouldering wall at the back. It's very exciting. So if there's a little bit of noise, apologies. We're going to try and keep ourselves as calm and relaxed as possible during our yoga though. So today, if you happen to have a couch cushion nearby, go ahead and grab that now. You can use a pillow off your bed or a cushion off the couch or anything that you happen to have around. You don't necessarily need a specific bolster, yoga bolster or anything like that, but take a moment, go and grab something that you can prop yourself up with for later on when you start to get really relaxed. So this morning, we're going to work through a little bit of upper body, some pressing and pushing to build a little bit of strength up in the shoulders, arms, forearms, and there'll be lots of different options. So please pick the option that suits your body today. There's no reason to push yourself too hard. Remember, it's just yoga, so find the space that makes you feel the best. And as always, if something feels uncomfortable, modify it so that you aren't uncomfortable. And if you're in any discomfort in terms of pain, please move away from that as well. There'll be different stages of building up the strength, and if at any point you want to stay with the previous version, that's completely fine, as long as you're just moving with your breath and making it your practice, will be all good. Alright, well, let's begin. We're going to start in a seated position, just to settle in and find the breath. Sitting cross-legged or with your legs folded underneath you, however is comfortable for you today. Just take a moment to check in, settle into your body, arrive on your mat, and as always, as we begin to prepare, close your eyes or lower your gaze, turning your attention inwards to the breath. See if you can feel the sensation of air flowing in and out through the tip of your nose. That gentle breeze coming and going, without too much effort or intention from you. The body just simply breathing by itself. Interlace the fingers in front of you. Press your hands out, palms forward. And as you inhale, reach up with the arms overhead, stretching out through the shoulders and the outsides of the arms. And exhale to bring the hands back down in front of you, just pressing forwards from the center of your chest. Again, inhale, reaching up overhead, getting a little bit more mobility through the shoulders. And exhale, bringing the arms down in front. One more time, inhale, reach. Reaching out of the shoulder capsule, reaching tall. And exhale to come down. All right. Gently moving over onto the hands and knees, coming into your flat back, neutral spine position. The wrists are under elbows, under shoulders, knees under hips. Wow, just started raining. So, pressing into your cat-cow, curving through the spine and dropping through the center as you move. Warming up through the spine now, starting to get a little bit of mobility through the joints of the spine. Moving here as many times in and out as you would like. Starting to get a little bit of ease of movement. Alright. Now from here, if you could gently allow yourself to lower, bringing the chest down between the hands and pressing back up. Alright, so the idea here is that we're not jumping into our elbows or shrugging the shoulders up. Just very gently, to the point where you're comfortable, bring the shoulders down and pressing up. And one more like that. Gently coming down and pressing up. Alright, press yourself back to your child's pose. Take a nice wide knee and reach the arms forward as far as you can, releasing through the shoulders there. Nice and relaxed. Walking the hands back underneath, bring the knees in, coming back up to our all fours position. Now, gently extending one leg behind, right leg first, toes can stay on the ground, and drawing back in. Opposite side, extending the leg, toes stay on the ground, and drawing back in. Let's do that 2 more times on each side, pressing back, staying nice and stable through the center of the body, finding strength in the arms, stability through the core, and a gentle movement down through the back line of that leg. All right. Sink back to child's pose again here for just a moment, forehead to ground. Then, coming up, extend the right leg behind you as you come up to your all fours. Knee to ground, press back to child's pose. Opposite side, coming up, extending the left leg behind. And knee down, pressing back to child's pose again. 2 more times like that on each side, finding that strength in the arms and the stability through the core, pressing back to your child's pose. Gently coming up, extending the left leg again. And back down to your child's pose. Take a moment with the forehead to the ground. Building on that, we're going to add in the dip. So, coming up, extend the right leg behind you. Now, gently dropping the chest down between the hands and pressing up. Knee to the floor and press back to your child's pose. Coming up again, extending the left leg this time and gently dipping down, chest between the forearms, pressing up. Knee down and press back to your child's pose. Let's do that 2 more times. Coming up, extension, dipping forwards, pressing up, knee down, and back to your child's pose. Up again, left leg this time extending behind, dipping the chest down, and pressing up. Knee down, press back to child's pose, and if you've got your bolster handy, bring that in underneath your body and give yourself a nice little reclined rest here. Just the head to one side. Allow the body to completely relax. Just take a good 10 to 15 seconds here to let the body settle. If you don't have your bolster, that's okay. Stay in that child's pose position with the forehead to the ground, the nice gentle pressing back of the hips to the heels. All right. Moving your bolster off to the side again. Come on up to all fours. Let's start to move a little bit more with some strength through a downward dog version. Tucking the toes, lift up to your downward dog. This is our first downward dog of the day, so let's take a moment here just to press out through the heels, alternating side to side like you're pedaling on a bike, getting a little bit of length down the back of each leg, and then dipping the knees forward, allowing them to come to the ground, and press yourself back to your child's pose. Coming up to all fours, tuck the toes and lift to downward dog. Find strength and stability here. And drop the knees and press back to downward child's pose. One more time, coming up to all fours, tucking the toes and lifting to your downward dog. Very gently come forward into a plank. If you need to, you can drop your knees here and dropping down between the hands. See if you can hover. It's all right if you come all the way to the ground. We're going to press back up through our downward dog. So press up through your high plank and lift back to downward dog. Good. Drop the knees and come back to your child's pose. Let's do that again. Coming up to all fours, tucking the toes, lift downward dog. Forward to your high plank and lowering down. Pressing back up to your high plank and lift into your downward dog. Drop the knees and exhale back to your downward dog. Sorry, child's pose. Coming up one more time. Tuck the toes and lift to downward dog. Coming up to a three-legged dog, lifting the right leg. In this position, I would like you to rotate your leg in the hip socket. So toes are flexed and you're pointing the toes as if they're going around a clock, up and down, starting to get some rotation through the hip joint. Placing the foot back on the ground, dropping the knees, and press back to your child's pose. Other side, coming up to all fours, tuck the toes, lift to downward dog. Three-legged dog left side, toes are flexed, and rotating the leg in the hip socket, as if you're pointing the toes around the clock. And bring the foot down, dropping the knees. Rest back into your child's pose. It's another good opportunity for a bolstered rest. Tucking that in underneath you, allowing yourself to settle in, completely relax onto that cushion, settling the breath. And just letting go of any tension that you're finding in your shoulders or back. Pop that off to the side. Now let's work a little bit through some legs and hip opening. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Tucking the toes, lift to your downward dog. Step forward with the right foot between the hands. Drop the back knee, untuck the toe. Come on up to a nice low lunge. And from here, flowing backwards and forwards, pressing back, stretching through the back of the leg, and coming forward, stretching through the front of the back hip. Moving backwards and forwards here a few times, getting a little bit of extra relief. Last time. And bring the hands back to the front. Tuck that back toe and step yourself back to a downward dog. Drop the knees. We're now back into our all fours position. Okay. Extending out the right leg behind you. Toes are down. Rotate to kickstand that front leg and reach in a nice supported side plank. Reaching out through the side of the body. Then bring the hand to the ceiling and reach over to the opposite side, getting a nice release and stretch down the left side of the body. Flow back the other way. Bring the hand to the ground and reach that arm out. Back again, coming over to the other side, reach and release. That's nice. I like that one too, yeah. And reach. All right, rotate, bring the hand down, coming back to your all fours position. Press back to child's pose. Forehead to ground. All right, let's make sure we're nice and even, coming up to your all fours position. Tuck the toes, lift to downward dog. Looking forward, step the left foot forward this time, drop the back knee, untuck the toes. Coming up to your low lunge. Flowing forwards and backwards here, releasing down the hamstring and opening through the front of the hip. 2 more like that. Getting a gentle release, finding the sweet spot for you today, where you're feeling tension easing, and a very gentle stretch. Moving the hands forward to your mat, tuck the back toe, and step back to your downward dog. And drop the knees. All right, kickstanding the other side now. So left leg comes back, toes are on the ground. Rotate to bring that right leg out behind you and reach over, getting a stretch down the left side of your body. Rotate, wheel up, stretch and release down that outside of the right side of your body. Coming back down, reaching across, relaxing and releasing down that left side again. Coming over to the other side, reach to the ceiling. One more time, coming down. Extension through the whole side of the body. And hands down. Bring the knees back under the hips. And press back to child's pose. We're only going to be here for a moment, guys. Letting go of any tension you've got in the back of your body. All right. Gently move yourself to be on your back. So we'll work through a bridge first. Hands beside hips, feet are flat on the floor. If you can, fingertips pretty much at the heels. Keeping the knees nice and together. We'll move up and down 3 times here. So, pressing into the feet, lifting the hips to the ceiling. And lower down. Lifting again, hips to ceiling. And lower down. Last one of these, lifting up. And relax back down to the ground. Draw the knees into the chest. Extend the feet up in front of you so that the soles of the feet are pressing to the ceiling, feet are flexed. Draw the knees in again. Do this 2 more times. Stretching to the ceiling and drawing in. Last one, stretching to the ceiling and draw those legs in. All right, place your feet back down on the ground, knees are bent. Grab your couch cushion or your bolster. If you don't have one, that's okay. There's another option, you can move against the wall. We're going to come into a supported inversion. So very gently, pressing into the feet, lift the hips and slide your bolster underneath your hips and then settle back down onto your bolster. Draw the knees into the chest and then extend the feet to the ceiling. If you don't have a cushion, that's completely fine. You might like to scoot yourself over to a wall and just gently rest the feet against a wall. The idea is that you're supported here. You're not putting a whole lot of effort into the balance. That is the inversion. Turn your attention to your feet and just notice the sensations that start to arise. You may experience a sensation of coolness or tingling. You might experience a tension or a shaking. That's okay too. If it's uncomfortable for you, just draw the knees in. Let's take a moment to notice how it feels to have your feet elevated like this. Notice the effect on the body. Notice the effect on the breath. Why do we do an inversion? Inversions are a really great way of just calming the nervous system. There's no effort now for the blood to flow back into my vital organs. It's very, very calming and relaxing. And it just helps to settle any of that tension that we're holding in our body, in our legs. And from a yoga perspective, it's a really nice way to just burn away any of that excess tension and stress and waste in the body. Gently draw the feet in, knees in.
And place the feet on the ground. Lift the hips gently and release that through getting rid of that bolster. Draw your knees into your chest, give yourself a squeeze, rock and roll. Forwards and backwards, side to side, whatever feels good for you today. And then extending out into your Shavasana. Chin slightly tucked, palms are up, feet gently turned out to the sides. And just take a moment to sit here. Let the body settle and relax. Notice the effect that today's practice has had on your body. And if you've got the time, you can stay in your Shavasana for as long as you like.
5 minutes would be great if you can manage 5 minutes. 10 minutes is even better. If you want to stay in Shavasana for 20 minutes, go ahead. I wish I could. So next week, guys, you're going to have Sean taking you for yoga. Very excited to be able to do some of his classes with him online. So I'll be checking in live as well. And I hope you have a lovely day and that you're feeling a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more easy. And yeah, as always, check in, let us know what you're liking. Let us know if you've got any requests. And we'll see you here next week for Yoga with Sean at 9 o'clock live.
And if you want a bit more of a workout today, 1 o'clock, we have Cavell running us through a leg session. So you can join us for that. Oh, bye.
Bye.